The basement, where nerdiness thrives, and grown men rant about toys.
What up, Dick Spooners, Dick Dooners,
Dick Duners,
Dick Dooners?
Spice Miners,
Yeah, Spice Miners.
like David Lynch.
Yeah, I saw him. I was like, that looks a whole lot like David Lynch, hair and all.
Yeah, I was just about to say he doesn't change the hair; he just puts a little sand in it.
Yeah. Shit. So yeah, we're here talking about motherfucking Dune.
This is going to be a hard one in the opposite way of Beetlejuice, where I was saying that Beetlejuice, how do you really talk about it? Because it's a story that everybody knows and it's so simple. Uh, this is the opposite reason because if you know Dune, like you know the story of the first book, but there's just so much stuff.
So much stuff.
So
So
much,
much stuff.
so much terminology.
So before we jump in, we ask everybody if what their thoughts are on our various Facebook groups. Did you get any hits this time?
I did not. You got all the hits this time, and I must say, I'm disappointed in you guys. Tisk tisk. Nah, for real. It's because I've been posting my portion of the posts pretty late, just due to my job. So I just got to be quicker on maybe posting them on Friday, just so more people have time to see them and engage. Because it's usually like Saturday nights I'm posting, so it's like not a long stretch of time to interact with the post.
Yeah, true. So Zach says, if you walk without rhythm, you won't attract the worm. And I told you a minute ago, earlier, that I got a funny story about that Fat Boy Slim song. I I did not know that song was a total reference to Dune at all. I saw memes when Dune 2 came out recently with Christopher Walken, and it's saying that, and I was like, oh, maybe they're just saying that because Christopher Walken's in the movie, and he was in the Fat Boy Slim music video. But for years, for what, 20 something years, I thought the line in the song was, if you walk without rhythm, you won't attract the water.
Hmm.
So for all these years, I've had it wrong in my head. Uh,
It's a lyric that still works though, even with
yeah,
the water of life.
yeah, exactly. Fucking crazy. But yeah, you learn. I know a lot, but I don't know much. That's how I go about everything.
There's always going to be one song that you've been singing wrong all your life, and then you kind of have to make that decision where you're like, do I course correct or just fuck it? I've been singing it this long. I like my version.
And apparently, there's another line in there as well with something about the tone of my voice. I've got my new weapon, the weapon of choice, which is, I guess the whole song is straight up a fucking reference to Dune.
Yeah, and I had known the Fatboy Slim song before I got into Dune, so I'm kind of in the same boat with you where it was a mind blower. I'm like, oh, that's what they're going for. I think before I
Yeah,
even saw the Lynch movie, I think I saw like a Robot Chicken sketch that was like parodying the Sandwalk, and they had quoted it, and I was like, hold up, I've heard those words.
yeah. So then our buddy Ryan Zalewski says, I still have to watch this myself. I owned it on Blu-ray for years and bought the Arrow Video 4K of it like 2 years ago and still haven't. And I get it. I totally get that. You know, people probably like, oh yeah, well, how are you going to get a movie and not watch it? But you know, there's CDs that I've picked up at Goodwills that I haven't listened to. I have a fucking whole library of games that I buy when they're on sale on PlayStation, the PlayStation Store, and haven't turned them on, and they've been sitting there for a couple years.
They're
So I
just like
get
on
it.
hand for when you're ready, especially with a movie like Dune, where it's like you got to be either high enough or just in a certain mood. Uh, the
Yeah, it's
the new
fucking
ones are
demands
more
your
like,
attention.
what was that?
This movie demands your attention, and you're still
Absolutely.
not going to understand it.
It does suck you in once you get into it, but it's still like edited very weirdly, and the plot's just all over the place in terms of adaptation. The new ones are more digestible blockbusters, so I could see this being on the shelf for a little bit. Um, I've seen it maybe twice this year just because of Dune Part Two's release, but I don't know if I would watch it like that frequently for any other reason. I
Yeah,
does
when go
Yeah,
ahead.
it does have a soft spot in my heart, but yeah, you do have to be in a specific mood for the Lynch Dune. I am jealous that he has the Arrow collection though, because that supposedly, I think that's the one that comes with multiple different cuts. I only have the two cut version.
Ah. So our buddy David Anderson says the original was boring as hell to me. Haven't seen the new ones yet, but I heard those are good. Uh, and so yeah, so you're saying that the new ones are a little more easy to watch, blockbuster shit.
Part one is definitely more of the setup. So that one has a little bit more of a slower pace, but part two is a straight up blockbuster and doesn't waste like it's a long movie, but it doesn't waste a moment of film. It was really good, and it makes part one worth watching. You know what I mean? My opinion for part one wasn't fully solidified because I knew that there was another part coming, and that would really determine. All right, like did they make hit the landing? You know, and I
Yeah,
was really impressed with it.
but so yeah, I've never watched Dune before. I've always heard of the legend and the multiple cuts, and I am a big David Lynch fan, but you know I still haven't seen all his movies yet. But fucking yeah, I know of the crazy them trying to make this with Jodorowsky and Ridley Scott. Um, but yeah, I never watched it. I remember when I was a kid. I remember when the TV movie version came out, and then you know recently with these new ones. But I've always heard it being called Star Wars for grown-ups. But I'm watching it and I'm just like, this is Star Wars for Tool fans.
Absolutely. That's the popular meme, Tool Star Wars.
Yeah.
This is Star Wars with drugs.
And so I was doing just a little bit of research, and I came across a few reviews from when it came out. And I think I screenshotted them, and I'm gonna read them real quick here. Roger Ebert and fucking Gene Siskel were so harsh on this movie. Fucking Roger Ebert gave it 1 star and said this movie is a real mess, an incomprehensible, ugly, unstructured, pointless excursion into the murkier realms of one of the most confusing screenplays of all time. The movie's plot will no doubt mean more to people who have read Herbert than those who are walking in cold. And then fucking Gene Siskel says that the movie is physically ugly. It contains at least a dozen gory, gross out scenes. Some of its special effects are cheap, surprisingly cheap, because the film costs a reported 40 to 45 million, and its story is confusing beyond belief. In case I haven't made myself clear, I hated watching this film. Uh, and I'm like, damn, y'all are a little harsh. You know, it ain't really that bad. And then to tell you the truth, I thought the fucking special effects were pretty damn decent. Uh, You
I was gonna
know,
say, I think for the most part they hold up. There's a couple of compositing shots and puppeteering of the worms that look a little iffy, but overall, um, there's some really nice miniature work going on in this movie.
yeah, I love the sets. I love all the practical shit. Like this movie is a feast for the eyes, man. It is really cool to look at. There's just so much shit everywhere, and everything looks old and dingy, and there's just no polish on anything. It just everything looks real as fuck.
Yeah, and I was
And the
doing some
effects,
research. I
I
was doing
think, huh?
I was doing some research on the special effects today, and I those reviews are really harsh because the level of thought that was put into it is pretty impressive and shows that even though there was a lot of strife on the production end of things, the initial crew, like there was a lot of love and effort put into it, even down to compositing because they were shooting in various deserts and sound stages, compositing the blue out of the sky because they thought ahead and they were like, well, there's no water on Arrakis, so there wouldn't be a blue sky. Making
Yeah.
sure to like shoot at certain angles so the sky is only like framed enough where they could composite it out and make it that nice murky orange.
Yeah. And then I think the worst special effects in the movie is that ugly square shield shit they fucking get.
The Minecraft shields.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly what I thought. It just looked like two Minecraft characters fighting. That was like the worst, and they do it just twice in the movie, and there's no fucking point at
It's
all.
very early CG, which is pretty interesting, and I don't for Dune, it kind of sucks because that's just not exactly what I'm gonna be this guy for the episode where it's like, oh, it's not exactly like the book. I do understand that like adaptations are gonna have differences, but yeah, these big blocky shields are just really overkill. But I do, if they were put in a different movie, I think I would dig them. You know, if they were put in like a Buckaroo Banzai, I think I would dig them because they have like this weird trippy effect when they're clashing the knives and their reflections are in the shields and it's kind of all wavy and trippy. Like
Yeah.
visually, it does grab your attention, but it is awkward. And like you said, they only use it twice when in the Dune lore, this is supposed to be like what they're rushing into battle wearing. Like it
Ah.
when House Atreides is being attacked by the Harkonnens, and I know this would be so expensive, but they should all be running in like fucking blockmen.
Oh my God, this movie was also space Game of Thrones.
Absolutely. Game of Thrones was heavily inspired by Dune. A lot of things were. George Lucas didn't outright mention Dune as an inspiration, but there's been a lot of discussion over the years and talk in Frank Herbert's family, even. Like his son saw Star Wars and was like, Dad, you gotta see this movie. Like, it's fucking Dune.
And apparently, it's weird that they got David Lynch. This would technically be his third film. So at this point, Hollywood doesn't know what the fuck he's capable of and what he'll eventually become. Because at this point, he's only done Eraserhead and Elephant Man.
Right. And Elephant Man got massive critical acclaim. He became like this Oscar darling. And like you said, people didn't really know what they had. And even Lynch himself, there's this is what makes the story so interesting is without Dune being made, I don't think David Lynch would be who he is today. Like I don't think he would have came back as hard and as independent. Even Dino De Laurentiis, who produced this movie, kind of realized that he fucked over David on Dune and gave him final cut on Blue Velvet. So that was kind of his like, hey, I'm sorry about what happened with Dune because if this was a success, he very much could have been like just another like sci-fi director, not downplaying sci-fi directors, but you know what I mean. We wouldn't have gotten like an Inland Empire out of, you
Yeah,
know,
we
Hollywood.
wouldn't have got his career would have probably we may not have got Twin Peaks or Mulholland Drive or Lost Highway we probably wouldn't have got the crazy, weird mind fucks. Even though, like, there's a lot of David Lynch shit in here where I'm like, yeah, that's a David Lynch moment, but you can tell that it's very reserved.
Because he's a very like meditative sort of guy, right? And he usually uses his like initial train of thought. He always talks about that with writing scripts, that he doesn't go through drafts or anything. He just kind of goes with the first idea, and he's big into like transcendental meditation. So I'm sure he took a lot of like the fucking disillusionment that he was feeling on the Dune set and like incorporated some of that, because he describes this set as a nightmare. Like only recently has David started talking about Dune again. For the longest
Yeah,
time,
he
it was
mentioned that he's toying with the idea of doing a director's cut, but he said it'll probably not happen.
yeah. He said like the best he said that would happen is like he's like I would just like to look at the footage again, but actually like going through with the re-editing of it, I don't see that happening, which is sad because it would be interesting, but I think it was kind of just the reaction of the new movies kind of like perking his ears up again.
Yeah, because weird thing is the dude hasn't made a movie. Uh, when did Inland Empire come out? 2006.
Yeah, and then he did like a Netflix short a couple of years back. What did Jack do? Which was pretty funny. It was just him talking to a monkey that was also played by him.
And
Um,
then he did that Twin Peaks: The Return, which fucking since it was on Showtime, we hadn't seen them all. We watched maybe the first 4 or 5 episodes, but we were having to like bootleg them, so like they looked like shit.
and I still got to watch Twin Peaks Returns. I mean, I've only really watched season one, and I really liked it. And that's the aside from the return, like that's the only classic season I believe that Lynch was really involved in. Didn't he leave by like season two?
Nah, he was there the whole time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was just the TV channel. I forgot what fucking channel. They wanted him to hurry up and reveal the Laura Palmer killer, and so then after that, like the main mystery was done. But I think season two has a lot of good shit in it. Um, so season two is to me still really good. And then the movie Fire Walk with Me or whatever the fuck, Fire Walk with Me.
Yep.
Uh, that shit was good as a motherfucker too. And but that one felt more like what David Lynch wanted to do with Twin Peaks. And when you watch the return feels a lot more like Fire Walk with Me as well. Just David Lynch shit going on, you know?
Right, because didn't wasn't there like a co-creator on the first two seasons, uh, kind of working it out and show running it with him?
Yeah, I want to say he had a buddy. Um, God, let me look this up real quick.
While he's looking that up, I do want to say
Yeah,
that
Frost,
going on
Mark
with my
Frost.
theory,
Yeah, the
going what was that?
Mark Frost.
Mark Frost, Mark Cold. Going on with my theory though that David Lynch wouldn't be the same without this experience. We got Dean Stockwell in the cast, and Paul Atreides is Kyle MacLachlan, which would become a longtime collaborator with Lynch. That he's kind of like his Robert De Niro in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Uh,
Ethan Cooper's in this.
and I know Dean Stockwell went on to be in Blue Velvet, the guy who plays Dr. Yui in this. I don't know if he was in any other Lynch movies after that, but uh, you start to see that even though he was having a hard time, like friendships were made. There are these hopeful moments in the storm.
Yeah, damn. But shit. I guess should we jump into it?
We might as well because we got a lot to cover.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, first I want to say fucking Toto doing the score with Brian Eno. the This was at a time when early '80s Hollywood was taking rock bands and having them do the music for movies. Because around here we have Electric Light Orchestra doing Xanadu with Olivia Newton-John, and also Queen doing Flash Gordon.
Yep, which was Dino De Laurentiis' first attempt to kind of outdo Star Wars at their own game, taking the stuff that inspired it and trying to make new blockbuster movies out of it. And then Dune, I think it was actually his daughter's first job producing, like her first time producing a major Hollywood production. So it's like, welcome to Hollywood, sweetheart. Here's an absolute unadaptable shit show for you to
Here's
manage.
fucking Dune.
Good luck.
Hey, daughter. But then, yeah, the main theme. Uh, I was like, man, this shit sounds like Cradle of Filth. And you had mentioned to me that you've been listening to Nightwish, and I'm like, man, it sounds like Cradle of Filth. Cradle of Filth. Every album has up to two, sometimes more, sort of dark orchestra kind of songs, and I'm like, which one is this? And I'm like, the melody is so fucking similar. And I just, right before we got on here, I had to skim through all the Cradle of Filth intros, but it turns out it's on their Thornography album, the intro called um, Under Pregnant Skies, She Comes Alive Like Miss Leviathan. And I sent you a link to the song in the Facebook Messenger so you could check it out.
Absolutely. That's going to be my outro song for this podcast. With a title like that, how can you go wrong?
Yeah.
One of the things that's interesting is, number one, opinion wise, this is like my ideal Dune theme. I just like how doomy and kind of bombastic, Lawrence of Arabia esque it's like. It really cements the vastness of the desert, but
Yeah.
supposedly David Lynch himself kind of created the melody for the main Dune theme and handed it off to Toto for them to do the more official version. So
Yeah,
that's
and you get a little bit of rock guitar in there. The score's pretty epic, like the main themes and shit. And I miss really memorable epic film scores, and we don't get that kind of shit anymore nowadays.
ironically, it's not really his fault, but thanks to Hans Zimmer, just because of how modern movies and trailers and sound design kind of go. It's more low score, kind of low drums. Uh,
Yeah, and ticking seconds. That's been a theme in movie trailers for a few years now. Uh, yeah, the ticking noise is the new Inception. Blah. You know what I mean?
or they'll like time the credits to go with like one tick at a time, like chung chung.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. And that we can definitely think another theme in trailers here in the past several years is the where the score in the trailer cuts with the edits in the trailer, like everything's in sync. And we can definitely thank that first trailer for Suicide Squad for that.
oh my god, yeah. And then that editing house just went on to edit the rest of the movie, so it kind of just set a standard for like, oh, we could just do this now.
Yeah.
And geez, I do love the Dune score. Another interesting fact about it, there were a couple of people collaborating on it. Like the main names are Toto and Brian Eno, but James Newton Howard, supposedly this was his first movie he ever worked on, helping the band with the Trip to Arrakis track. So
Huh.
that's pretty interesting. I love me some James Newton Howard scores.
What has he done? His name isn't familiar to me.
He did the Lord of the Rings movies.
Oh, okay, okay, cool. Right on.
That would probably be the biggest. And he was. Oh wait, no, I think that was Howard Shore who did the Lord of the Rings. James Newton Howard might have done Peter Jackson's King Kong. Um, and he did Disney's Dinosaur. He's a name that goes around the composing circles. Let me get some other names for you. The Hunger Games movies are some of his more recent entries.
Yeah, and we watched the first Hunger Games and then the end. I
He
wasn't
did
too
the
into
score
that.
to yeah, I never really got into the Hunger Games, which is sad. I think it's because the book was a required reading thing in school, so it wasn't even like fun for me at the time. I look back on it and I'm like, damn, they really were just asking you to read some fun sci-fi. It wasn't that bad, but again, when something's just homework, you don't want to
Yeah,
do it.
when you're definitely right. When it's something that they're making you do as opposed to something you want to do.
Right. James Newton Howard also did The Sixth Sense, a lot of Shyamalan movies.
Okay.
Dude did fucking Atlantis: The Lost Empire. That rules.
Oh, right on.
And the score to Dinosaur lives rent free in my head. Like, it's not a very amazing movie, but it's just one of those movies I watched when I was like really young, like toddler age. So
Yeah,
that soundtrack really stands out to me.
yeah. I might have seen Dinosaur twice.
Now that I'm an adult, I kind of wish they kind of went full balls. And it's like, yo, the animals just shouldn't talk. This should have been just an amazing, like, blend of CG and live action.
Yeah,
Visually, it still kind of holds up. But that's
but
another side note. Holds
so
up like Dune.
do what?
Holds up like Dune. I'm trying to bring it back onto the Dune track.
Yeah, so like the beginning of this movie is exposition. This lady is staring at the audience, telling you shit. And then what's so fucking funny to me is this is some of the worst this is some of the worst ass kind of writing for me, especially for like a narration. She fucking disappears, right? Then she comes back talking about, oh, and I forgot to tell you. Like,
And it's like the most important detail in the whole thing. It's the name of the movie.
yeah, it's like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck is this? Come
They
on.
threw a gag into the exposition dump, and I wrote in my notes, I'm like, I didn't think an opening could be epic and awkward at the same time.
Yeah, like I was like, did y'all fucking really with this? Oh, and I forgot to tell you.
Because the initial shot is pretty like breathtaking that it just starts on her eyes and then you get that first synth blast as it like pulls back
Yeah,
and
it's a cool ass. It looks cool. It's a cool fucking part. But
if they didn't
it,
do the fading it would have been an excusable kind of like replacement for the text crawl in Star Wars, if you will.
yeah,
That
yeah.
this
There
is kind
was
of Dune
no
open.
reason for her to disappear and then come back talking about, oh, I forgot to tell you. Why? Why not just have that part of the entire monologue? It makes no fucking sense. But to tell you the truth, that's the only thing about the beginning monologue that I remember. You know, so I'm guessing really if it wasn't that way, I would have just been like, it's just a monologue. I wouldn't have had nothing to say about it.
Yeah, exactly. She fades away so the audience could be like, "Look at the pretty stars! Look at the pretty stars!" And then she comes back, and they're like, "Oh." Um,
You again.
it is. I can't say it's unfaithful to the book because there's a lot of chapters that open up on the princess's like royal diaries, talking about Paul like after the story had already wrapped up. These are like historical documents. So a lot of the stuff is ripped straight from the book where she's like, know then that the year is like 10,000 whatever, and I am the daughter of the Padishah Emperor Shaddam the Fourth, and she basically just gives the rundown that spice is the gasoline of the universe, but
Yeah,
also like a
everything
geriatric
lives on one planet,
Dune.
Arrakis. She tells us basically everything we need to know, which is fine. But I will say this movie spends a lot of time explaining shit and not explaining a fucking thing.
Exactly. So you kind of got to look down on your terminology pamphlet, which I
Yeah,
still can't believe that they handed out to people.
you know you're in trouble when the movie theater has a fucking dictionary that they got to hand out to the patrons.
And it's kind of funny because Jodorowsky, after his version went under, didn't want to watch the David Lynch version because he liked David Lynch and he did kind of have an idea that he could do it better than me. But then his son dragged him to the theater, and right from the get go, he slowly calmed himself down. It's a really funny clip in the Jodorowsky's Dune documentary. He's like, I was happy because it was terrible.
Oh shit. Um, so yeah, spice. Yeah.
It's the gasoline, but it's also like super drugs. It could extend life. Um,
Yeah.
it can keep you young. It gives you
Fucking
prescience.
expand consciousness. So it's like the shrooms of the universe.
But, the guild navigators, as they're called, they're basically like the pilots of the ships that they travel across space in, but they don't actually fly across space. With their prescient spice abilities, they're able to do something called folding space, where they could literally fold space time and the ship could just appear in one spot to another. It's like fast travel.
Wormhole shit.
Yes, and those guys are so addicted to spice that they become these wormy fucking tank creatures, which is definitely more of a Lynchian design in this version, and they're also built up to in the books. Like, we don't really see one. We have mention of them all across the first book, but we see one for the first time in book two, which seems pretty fitting because they're already throwing a lot of stuff at you that having a weird kind of fishy guy in a tank would just be like one weird thing too many. But David
Yeah.
Lynch said, fuck that, we're going to open on it.
Yeah. So the movie starts. We now that the fucking sets, God Jesus, the sets are fucking great. Of this giant, these massive buildings and spaceships and shit. But so yeah, these guys show up.
On the
Uh,
planet Kitane.
okay, and
They give you the rundown of the planets, which that I actually kind of like. It looks like a
yeah,
cool kind of Star Wars Battlefront map, and this computery voice, Planet Arrakis, Planet Caladan. Like that's just kind
our
of a cool.
planets that we are watching. This planet has these people. This planet has these people. This
Yeah,
planet has the spice.
the whole like first 15 minutes of the movie, I couldn't help but think of Spaceballs, where Rick Moranis looks into the camera. Everybody got that?
Yeah. Seriously. Uh, so yeah, these guys show up, and I do like the translation microphone, and I do like that Princess Girl didn't have to feel the need to explain it to us.
Yeah, they're just like these part of the guild. And yeah, the main guy who kind of looks like Jim Norton has that cool translation microphone that I dig, that you could still kind of hear like the alien language being muttered
Yeah,
in the background.
yeah, really cool touch. Really cool touch. So they open this tank. What the fuck is this guy?
So he is the guild navigator who I just mentioned. They're the guys who are able to fold space.
And oh my God. See, I was like, I did not understand this. I was like, what is this thing?
They have
Uh,
a lot of political power just because it's like, hey, we're the ones who are able to control your ships, so we get a say in this. They were people. There are no aliens in the Dune universe. It's a real humanist story. And before this story even began, they kind of got rid of robots and machinery, thinking machines, as they called them. They created like this whole new commandment that was like, thou shalt not create a thinking machine that looks like a man. That's why you have those big uh, eyebrow guys like Thufir, who are the mentats. Their brains are basically the computers.
In my notes, I wrote down super brow.
Yeah,
More hair on his eyebrows than I have on my head.
fucking Brad Dourif with his eyebrows that could take flight.
Yeah, fucking wild. So
Head
yeah,
mustaches. They
so
have
this
they have forehead mustaches.
this navigator dude, there's a part coming up where, all right, his mouth already, man, looks like vagina ass, and the way it like moves, it kind of looks like a rabbit's mouth. They're coming up. There's a bit where like he's shooting planets out of that thing, and fucking Stars goes, "All right, what the fuck is happening?" I was like, I don't know. Is he farting planets?
It's in the first act of the movie, and I feel like that's where a lot of the general audience just kind of checked out, and this is where a lot of the stoners went, "Whoa!"
Yeah, like, oh my god. So yeah, they mentioned that shit's going down on Arrakis.
Yeah, so they're basically doing a changing of the guard. There's this whole plot from the Harkonnens that they've been the ones mining spice for centuries now, but they want to get rid of House Atreides because Duke Leto is kind of the only good guy in this universe. You mentioned Game of Thrones. I always said Duke Leto is the Ned Stark of this universe. He's the only truly good guy who's not in it for himself, and that's why he's got to die. So they pretty much kind of set it up like a backhanded promotion. Hey, congrats! You've been promoted. You get to control the spice, but hey, it's on this shitty
You're
desert.
now the hand of the king.
Yeah, and you got to move there, and we're gonna basically like kill you the moment you settle in.
Yeah. Um.
But they didn't
So
fill the navigators in on this, so that's why they came. They're like, "Yo, you must tell us." You know, they're little gossip girls, and they're like, "You got to fill us in. You got to spill the tea, Emperor."
yeah, I might look like a fish, but I'm a nosy bitch.
Things are fishy around here. I should know.
And so these ladies, these bald ladies, psychic bald ladies, they make them leave the room, but she's still like hearing the shit. So there was like no fucking reason. Well,
There's a whole superstition around the sisterhood of the Bene Gesserit, um, because they've
I'm
kind.
glad you remember what everything is called.
Oh yeah, dude. I am the walking terminology. I'll be the Dune Mentat. I'll grow out my eyebrows for you and walk around with a fur coat like that one guy. But yeah, the Bene Gesserit are like a sisterhood of. I don't want to call them psychic. The Dune uses the word prescient a lot more, which
Psych.
if you want to argue semantics or the difference, like whatever. But they've been kind of working in the shadows for years, working bloodlines, kind of forming these royal houses so they could create a super being known as the Kwisatz Haderach, um, which would kind of bring peace between all the houses. They assumed that it would be a girl on the Atreides side, so they could marry her with Sting, and that would create the Kwisatz Haderach, and then they would all be good. But
Oh.
Lady Jessica had Paul. They
It's like,
actually
we
control.
told you to only have women.
Yeah, they could actually control their bodies to the point where they could pick which gender they want their kids to be. And she's not even married to Duke Leto, Jessica. They say it in the movie that she's the concubine to the
Yeah,
Duke.
he's like, oh, I should have married you.
Yeah, it's one of the few tragic details where she's not
I left the
actually like of
concubine.
the royal house. Through some political loophole, like Duke Leto had to remain single. But so out of her love for him, she gave birth to Paul. So now it's kind of like Kwisatz Haderach, like one generation too early. You're gonna fuck up our shit. Um, They're also weird religious beings. Like they go around planets and plant like religious um, artifacts and superstition. So let's say if they got stranded there years later, they could just start like using these buzzwords, and the people will think like, "Oh, you're one of our gods," or you know something that we don't.
That's fucking hilarious.
And evil, like so they really are like that's why they want her to leave. But you're kind of right. It's like they don't know the extent of their power, so she could
I'm gonna
hear
bury
everything
this
from the other
ball in.
room.
I'm gonna bury this ball in the dirt, and man, 2,000 years from now, people are gonna freak the fuck out.
Yeah, people are gonna fucking go crazy that I know the exact name of what this is. And then they're gonna worship me.
So then it shows a young ass Kyle MacLachlan, fucking Cliff Vandercave himself, motherfucking watching planet explanation shit.
Yeah, the exposition's still going on because even the characters have to read up on the Dune lore, basically.
Yeah, the characters are like, God, what's going on now?
It was
Like,
funny that you read the Roger Ebert review because what's it called? Time Magazine compared this movie to Homework. They said that sci-fi movies are usually supposed to be an escape. That it's supposed to be an escape from homework, but this feels like a final exam, is
yeah,
what they
yeah.
said.
It's like I kept waiting for Kyle MacLachlan to look at us and be like, hey man, I'm as confused as you are.
Yeah, dude, he was 25. This is his first movie. Paul's kind of in his boyish New Hope phase right now, but whereas where Luke Skywalker was born on the shitty desert planet, Paul's raised in this privileged, preppy, militaristic water world of Caladan, which the shots look awesome when they first establish the world and you get those rolling waves on the castle that
Yeah,
kind of look like a futuristic Hammer horror film.
yeah. And so next we have, is it Dr. Yui
Yes, Dr. Wellington Yui.
and Eyebrow Man and
Yeah.
motherfucking Jean-Luc Picard.
Jean-Luc Picard rocking a mullet, kinda. He's got the long hair back. Playing one
Yeah,
of my favorite characters, Gurney Halleck.
yeah, motherfucker. He's still got that. This man has looked the same for like 40 years.
Well, we've all seen Life Force. He might be a space vampire.
Yeah, and every time Patrick Stewart shows up, I'm waiting for him to be like, yes, my other car is a starship.
Dude, in the final act, they're all riding worms, and he's like, I'm here. The Enterprise is shooting fucking photon torpedoes.
Right? Yeah, dude, that would have been great.
Make
Fucking
it so.
he shows up, motherfucking fucking Worf and Riker hanging out and shit.
He's got his fucking knee up on the thing. Atomics!
We should have got a shut up, Wesley.
Yeah, just shuts Wesley down immediately. And I love that he immediately strolls in holding it's a futuristic guitar, but it's called a balisette. We don't really see him play it in this movie, but Gurney is a very hard, war-torn person with a poetic musical side to him. So he's scarred, he's grumpy, but then he'll also whip that thing out and start playing some folk tunes for you.
Yeah, so like he shows up with this instrument and puts it down. Fucking Paul's all like, "Oh man, we already did this. I'm not
Moods
in the
are made
mood."
for
He's
cattle.
like, "Mood? I'll show you a mood," and starts fucking fighting him with a damn knife. And then boom, here comes the ugly ass blocky shield shit. And it's like, all right, okay, y'all can't do lightsabers, so here's something.
It also, yeah, you're right with the lightsaber comparison because even when they turn it on, it gives their voice kind of a warbly, like robotic echo.
And he's like, yes, you might have penetrated my shield, but look down. We will share blood.
So the scene is ripped directly out of the book, and I do like it. Like all the dialogue, I dig. It's just the blocking and the pacing, and like you said, the distracting special effect that really takes away from what's happening.
Hey, speaking of dialogue during this scene, in my notes I have written down once the fight is over and Eyebrow Man looks over at Kyle MacLachlan and says, "Oh, yes, you'll be a formidable Duke." That will now go down in history as the new word for taking a mean shit. I'm about to go take a formidable Duke.
Oh, if you want another line from later in the movie, we have worm sign the likes of God hasn't seen.
Seriously, I expect them little pugs to say that. These pugs have worms.
I was going to mention that. Yeah, they have the royal dogs. We saw them first with the Emperor, but then the Atreides in particular have these tiny royal pugs that
Yeah,
are specifically a Lynch choice. Um, like, I
there's
don't
a
think it
scene
would have been
later
a
on.
producer's choice.
There's a scene later on when they're getting attacked, and fucking Jean-Luc Picard is running into battle with a gun in one hand and a pug in the other.
And the pug doesn't know what's going on, so what's even funnier is the pug is staring like right into the camera, like, listen, like you said before, like Kyle MacLachlan, I am just as confused as you.
Yeah, the fucking dog's like, I'm ready for my treat.
Long live Duke Leto! That was my profile picture on Facebook for a little bit, just fucking Jean-Luc screaming with the sand in his face.
And so, what happens next? Is this when the psychic nun is talking to Jessica?
Yeah, they have to test Paul because earlier,
Jessica's like, "Oh man, no man has ever been tested with the box."
yeah, because Paul is basically being trained in all areas as a possible Kwisatz Haderach. So growing up with a Bene Gesserit mom and a royal dad, like he's been basically getting trained on all ends. Like you have Gurney teaching him how to fight. You got Thufir the Mentat teaching him how to use his brain. You got Dr. Yui teaching him how to take care of his body. But then
Yes, he's
even
basically Prince William in this movie.
yeah, dude, you got his mom now teaching him the ways of the Bene Gesserit, which that is really like
Weirding.
unheard of. Yeah, because the Bene Gesserit are specifically a sisterhood, but the Kwisatz Haderach was prophesized to be a male Bene Gesserit, somebody who could unlock that side of the bloodline. Because with their prescient powers, they're able to tap into the memories of their ancestors. So, if a Bene Gesserit sister wants to, experience the memories of like great 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 grandma, they could do that. But great 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 granddad, they can't access that. The Kwisatz Haderach could unlock that by being, the male link. But most men have tried and died.
Yeah,
Everybody,
tried.
everybody keeping up. Because, like,
Yeah,
trust me, I'm surprised I'm not getting lightheaded explaining this.
you got that?
Hmm.
And so when she starts, the Jesuit lady is like, "You gave birth to a boy." I'm just like, okay, this man's like 20 something years old. It's a little too late to complain about that now.
Yeah, she's
You
just
were
been
told to
stewing in
only
it for
birth
25
females.
years.
So what?
She's just been stewing in it for 25 years. Like, that bitch.
Yeah. And
I
so
can't.
she's like, she has this green fucking box. Uh, he's like, and then another thing about this movie is, man, so much internal dialogue.
That is something that is a flaw of the movie, that the book is written that way, which is very interesting. That multi character kind of inner dialogue, we kind of see what they're
Which is cool.
thinking.
Which is cool, you know. And I'm not complaining about the inner dialogue because everybody in the world all day long is talking in their heads, and you know, you never get that kind of shit in a movie, which I think is kind of cool about this. But at the same time, it almost feels like a crutch to explain more shit poorly.
That's what I was going to say. It works better on the page where this is a movie. Things need to kind of work more visually. And I was kind of thinking to myself on this recent rewatch, kind of like what they did with the Blade Runner multiple cuts, that they got rid of Harrison Ford's narration and it works, that it works on its own just visually. I wonder if the movie would be more confusing if the inner dialogue was taken out, or if it would actually help, because there are some really good actors in this movie, like Max von Sydow, who could express a lot with just their face, so
Yeah,
maybe some things could be gotten across with just a look.
there's certain scenes where the inner dialogue does help when that hunter seeker comes in and he's like, "Oh man, it's a hunter seeker. It'll kill me if I move." And it helps explain that a little bit. But there's other times where it's like, okay, you're kind of just explaining something that I already know. I've already figured this
I can't
out,
help
man.
but think about the South Park episode that parodied this.
Yeah, which one? Because there's so much. Uh, Definitely the getting high on cat piss.
And then whichever the episode was where they did the whispering narration whenever they thought, and they literally were like, the spice.
Oh yeah. Oh man. So yeah, he's like, put your hand in the box, and then this right here is a thing on my finger that kills animals. Oh, you think me an animal? No, I think you a human.
And in my notes, I did say, like, this scene is pretty iconic, like, no matter how you square it. Like, you'll see this again in the new Dune Part 1. The pain box is pretty fucking rad.
Yes, you'll feel an itching. Then you'll feel it burning. Oh, it hurts. You silence.
They play it very theatrical and Shakespearean in this version, and I think that also didn't help with the audience disconnect, because yes, it is a very lofty big story, but once you get into Dune, it is very humanist and there's a lot of like real moments between the characters. So I'm of two feelings about it, because I find it entertaining how they're playing it, but also at the same time putting myself in kind of like what Siskel and Ebert were saying, going in cold. I don't think it helps that it's played like the pain.
Yeah, I get what Siskel and Ebert are saying, but at the same time, I'm like, it's a little harsh because, yeah, I'm confused and shit, but I didn't dislike anything.
Oh yeah, it keeps your attention. That's why I think it was either David Anderson, one of the guys in the comments was like, "I found this boring as shit." I can't argue with that. Like
Yeah,
sometimes I did describe Dune
'cause
as
I
delightfully
was counting
boring.
the fucking minutes for every time I would pause it and go to smoke. I'd be like, oh, we still got a fucking hour.
Yeah, we still got an hour, dude. We're never getting off Arrakis.
Been 84 years.
You got like all the tally marks etched into the wall.
Oh,
You
and then,
one of the
we turned Netflix on just the other back on just the other day, and we went with the ad version because like streaming services are just getting too fucking expensive now, And so far, Netflix with ads is not that bad, but I was like, you pause it and you see where all the ads are, and it's like, oh fuck,
Yeah, for a
this
movie like this,
this
it's
is
only
gonna
like
add
slowing you
another
down.
This is going to add another 5 minutes to this. Yeah,
But
so what happens next? Is this when he sees his dad? Yeah, I heard she's like, yes, come on in, Jessica.
well, yeah, because he passes the pain box test, and when he pulls it out, it's kind of like a rabbit coming out of a hat. It's like, oh, your hand was fine the whole time.
I
It's
made you
totally
feel the
been
pain
fine.
with my mind powers.
And Jessica the whole time is giving herself the litany of fear, which is a genuinely good piece of writing that uh, works as a nice mantra, especially if you're like fighting anxiety.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
oh
fear
shit,
is the mind killer. Yeah, I was thinking of that Fear Factory.
yeah, dude, like that shit's really good.
Damn fucking. But yeah, she walks in. She's like, oh, he survived. He passed the test.
He could be the one, as she puts her palm on his forehead, all weirdly.
Yeah. So next he sees a buddy, Duncan.
Yeah, Duncan, Idaho. I love that in a world like full of, again, these lofty kind of big named characters. You have your space opera like Han Solos, like Duncan, Idaho.
Yeah.
He's like your
But
Buck
yeah,
Rogers.
he's like, yes, I'll see you on Arcus or Arrakis. I'll see you on Arrakis. We can't hang out right now. We've been friends for 30 years.
Yeah, he's one of the victims of this movie, both like literally and figuratively, because he's a big character in the first act of the first book in terms of like the whole inner circle of House Atreides and his brotherly role with Paul. But here he's kind of just like you said, I'll see you there, peace. And then when he's there, he's like, yo, there's a lot of Fremen. Bye.
Yeah. So yeah, then he sees his dad, and his dad's like, "Oh yes, I'm proud of you. You're
Yeah,
doing
Willem
things.
Dafoe ass looking dad.
You're doing things. We're all gonna go to Arrakis now."
Yeah, without change, something within us sleeps that seldom awakens. And so they're kind of looking at the water for the last time
He
because they know
says,
the last time they're going to see it.
he says, "May the hand of God be with you." And I'm like, yeah, yeah. So you can't say, "May the Force be with you."
Do, 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 do. Like the fucking John Williams score just
May
sneaks
the
in there.
hand
They're
of
like, hey, wait a
God be with you. Like that's such a mouthful. I'm glad that didn't become the catchphrase of the movie.
yeah. They said that God made Arrakis to train the faithful. And one can't go against the word of God. Like, that's one of the final lines in the movie, but it just kind of seems like a really long bumper sticker.
Yeah. Um. So I guess they get on the spaceship.
And Paul has a bad dream.
Yeah, his dream visions are pretty cool, Lynchian things, and they remind me of the opening of the X Files,
Yeah.
especially when the hand shows up.
Yes, dude, I could see it. It kind of reminds me of that weird face that shows up at the end.
Yeah, like you fucking. I kept waiting for doobadoo 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 doobadoo.
Desert planet, Arrakis, Dune.
Yeah, dude, he says that so many times. Desert planet, Arrakis, Dune, and he says it so many times through the movie, especially during his little speech after he spent X amount of time with the Arrakis people, and he says it so silently at the beginning of his speech. I'm like, hey man, some of the people in the back couldn't hear you.
And then he's getting like the first looks at Sting and fucking Chani. He's
Yeah, dude, look, so motherfucking, he's seeing these motherfuckers in his vision. Uh, and
I will kill you.
so what the fuck happens next? Is this when other eyebrow guy shows up, heading to other planet with Boyle face?
Yeah, so we enter Geedy Prime, which is basically every director's like sandbox for Dune. Like it's their chance to go absolutely schizophrenic. This is like the most Lynchian planet in the whole movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool ass imagery here. Is this the planet with the mouth thing that blows out black smoke?
Yeah, dude. They
Yeah,
got
there's
that
cool
weird
shit.
fucking smoke fountain.
So like fucking big old emperor. No, is he an emperor or what the fuck?
He's the Baron.
Baron, that's what it is. He's the Baron. Christopher Lee look-alike is the emperor, not Christopher Lee. We'll call him not Christopher Lee. Uh,
Fucking we have
Baron Vladimir. Um, got these nasty, so gross, man. These nasty boils on his face, and this guy is, I guess, sucking the juice out of him with this syringe thing.
Yeah, and then you got Brad Dourif as his mentat, Piter DeVries, who's
Yeah,
coming in to tell him the plan against the Atreides.
yeah.
Um, what's also cool is we got Jack Nance in a smaller role as I'm trying to remember the name of the character, but he plays one of the other Harkonnens who's always just kind of chilling there. Um, so that he's another David Lynch regular, Eraserhead himself.
And is this when Sting and other guys show up?
Yeah, so Sting and his brother Beast Raban walk in as he's getting his fucking boils picked.
When
Um,
they walk in, dude, I wrote in my notes, Bebop and Rocksteady.
yeah, bro, that
That's
is the
like,
vibe they give off. It doesn't help that the dude who played Beast is Bluto in the Popeye movie, so he's just kind of like, it's in the name. He's just like the mindless brute.
fucking. I'm just like, look at these guys. I'm like, fucking Sting, fucking, what was that song he did in the early 2000s? Sort of techno thing.
Every time he showed up, I just kept singing every little thing she does, especially when he keeps like fucking jumping around at the end.
Yeah, Roxanne.
You have to put on a red light. He sounds like Charlie Day when he screams.
Oh shit, yeah. Oh, and then like, fucking, this guy comes in, and I guess he's changing plants, and motherfucking Baron dude hits a button on his clothes, and he starts floating around. Uh, and he like this black oil shit gets all over him, and he goes over to old buddy and pulls out some kind of plug, and I guess he's drinking the dude's blood.
Yeah, he
Uh,
has like this weird heart plug, and the fucking flowers are shaking. None of this is in the book.
make
This is all just pure movie.
Yeah, makes
Oh yeah, those
absolutely
weird
no
eyeless
fucking
guys,
sense.
like none of that stuff. Like this whole green room, it's awesome, but like yeah, it's not Dune. Like this is one of the few moments where the creative divide really starts to show. Like where in production did they stop trying to adapt Dune, and this just became like a David Lynch experiment that's kind of on a leash.
Yeah, who said, hey, maybe the big guy should fly and then like pull out a heart plug and drink this guy's blood.
And while also selling toys to kids like this is Star Wars.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Um,
They
we
had
were talking
fucking
about
LJN.
we were talking about that on the last episode. Where like, man, they made an action figure line for anything back in the day.
An action figure. I'm surprised there's not a Dune cartoon. Like nowadays, if they did an adult animated one, that'd be awesome. But imagine like a '90s or an '80s, like, hey kids, it's Dune time.
Yeah, that would have you dude. Yeah, Dune would have probably been a massive Saturday morning cartoon in the '80s, especially with the sandworms and shit. Like yeah.
Yeah, they're
I'm
like the Transformers. Like maybe they do an episode where all the worms kind of like gather together and make like a Megazord.
Yeah, Mega Worm, fucking
Collect
dude.
them all and make Mega Worm.
Yeah, that would have definitely been a hit.
I'm trying to think of what Paul's catchphrase would be. You'd have to fuck. I guess it would have to be Spoon the Dune.
Yeah, Spoon the Dune. He'd be riding the worm and shit.
Yeah, every time he's about to ride the worm, his eyes glow blue, and the kids get
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Like his eyes wouldn't be blue for the entirety of the cartoon until like he gets on the worm.
He's got that spice energy.
Yeah, dude. It would show him like he inhale some spice or something, and it's like his spinach.
It's like Sailor Moon. Like you get this whole sequence of him like basically just getting high.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it
Oh,
plays a
that would
song,
rule.
and he's like, "Spoon the Dune."
Yeah, as he flies, makes it rain on the planet.
Yeah. But yeah, so that a pretty gross little scene. And when he's like drinking the blood of the guy, another little inner monologue. He says, This is what I'm going to do to your whole family, Paul.
So this is a role that definitely inspired like half of Doug Walker's inflections. If you really pay attention, like they've definitely quoted this scene many a times. Like especially with the Turl character played by Spoonie. If you want to go back to the old Channel Awesome days, like they always do the he'll know that it is I, Vladimir Harkonnen, that encompasses his doom. All the
Yeah,
screaming and the floating around.
yeah, I remember on that last big anniversary movie Channel Awesome did, and Spoonie came out like steam in that little steam bath thing.
Yeah, dude, the steam scene. Oh my god.
That was pretty epic.
For like for the record, that's the first like scene from this movie I ever actually saw. Like I had
Yeah,
known the
seen
title
it
Dune.
a million times on all kinds of shit. But this is the
I
first
had
time
caught it
I've
on
seen
TV.
it. Oh fuck. So yeah, now they're headed to Arrakis, and uh, Dude's just explaining shit, and yeah,
Well,
uh,
there's the model work that's going on during this time as they float through the damn spaceship, and then they show you folding space, which again, I admire the balls on David Lynch that he threw in this whole extended sequence of the wormy guy fucking floating up and, how it's all done, basically showing you how the sausage is made, like if you can even understand what you're looking at. But when you take into account how rushed the second act feels, and the final act,
yeah,
this definitely could have been cut out. Like it's cool and all, and it's trippy, but it really adds nothing to the movie. And it's one of the weirder effects where the ship is kind of like a cardboard cutout, and then it just kind of fades away, and then it cuts to Arrakis, and they're like there.
yeah. It's like, are we there yet? Yes, actually, we are.
Oh, well, splendid.
So they land and they get there and they're like, oh man, something's been sabotaged. We need to put up our shields. And then old buddy dude, don't know his name. He goes to touch Dune Dad, um, and they all draw their guns and shit. He's like, no, I'm just trying to explain this suit. In my notes, I wrote down shit suit.
Dude, I love that they didn't like cut that detail out because in the in the new movies they just kind of ex-nayed that. They're like, we don't have to mention that piss and shit get filtered into the still suit. But I love that they're like, nah, man, like this is how it's done. You're gonna be out in the desert for a long time, like that's how it is.
Yeah, and the fact that it filters your sweat and your shit and your piss into drinkable water. There's a lot of imagination in that. It's gross when you think about it, but it's pretty fucking genius as far as spacesuits go for sci-fi movies. I like sci-fi movies that have crazy, like here's a thing and here's how it works and what it's used for.
And it actually has some like basis in reality where it's like I could see 1,000 years in the future somebody having that kind of crazy idea.
Yeah, exactly. It reminds me of that opening scene on Waterworld when Kevin Costner is pissing in that filter and it's filtering his piss and he drinks it. But I'm like, okay, so you would rather have a filter to filter your piss and drink, but you got all this ocean of water that you could filter and make into drinkable water, but you'd rather do your piss.
I'm Bear Grylls and I just want to drink my own piss.
But
I
yeah, I
to see
do
Waterworld, honestly. It's funny that you mentioned that because I've been doing a lot of post-apocalypse movies recently,
fucking love
and
our world.
yeah, I want to check it out. I'm like, I've never sat down and given Waterworld an actual whirl.
Wow, really? Damn.
No, so I think I'll actually enjoy it. I know little to nothing about it. I just know it was a big hit, but then a lot of people kind of just like write it off as like,
Right. Like, dude, it was. I wouldn't call it a hit because it bombed, but I mean, it's got its fan base. Um, but
Yeah,
it
over
was,
the years, cult classic.
huh?
Over the years, like it kind of became a cult classic.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, the basic way to put it is Mad Max on water, and
That's what
it's
I'm
fucking
looking for,
awesome.
dude.
Say what?
That's what I'm looking for, dude. After Furiosa, like I rewatched The Road Warrior. I have this Patrick Swayze one called Steel Dawn that I didn't even realize was a post-apocalyptic one, so I pulled that one off the shelf. I'm probably gonna watch it tonight. But Waterworld's been on the back of my mind.
Yeah, because I mentioned a while back we should do the Mad Max retro and throw Waterworld in just because.
It's kind of like the fuck, what's the other character? There's Conan the Barbarian, but then there's like the water themed one.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's like there's Conan O'Brien, Conan, Conan the Barbarian, and well, I think John Carter was written by the same guy.
Yeah, but fuck, there's Cole the Conqueror.
Yes, that's it, Cole the Conqueror, and that Kevin Sorbo was Cole, wasn't he,
I believe so.
in
I
the
could be
movie?
wrong though. I know he was definitely Hercules.
Yeah, dude, Hercules was my jam when I was a kid.
Fucking Xena and Herc.
Yeah, dude, that was my shit.
And
But
Bruce Campbell, of course.
say what?
And Bruce Campbell, of course.
Yeah, so yeah, I do like the explanation of the suits, and then he mentions, breathe through your mouth and out your nose through this thing, and I still don't. I must have missed why, but what does that filter do that's hooked into your nose?
So if you inhale because the spice is in the air when you're walking in the open desert. Like the desert is a mixture of sand and spice.
Yeah,
So you could OD on the shit. Like you could take so much spice that you just fucking go delirious and die. And then the fucking like if you pass out in the desert, you're fucked. Like you're gonna be buried in sand or eaten by a worm. You
yeah.
know.
Regardless if you got your shoot suit on or not.
So you got to have the filter to kind of make the air a little more. Either way, you're getting spice in there, and that's one of the things that leads to Paul's spice freak out in the book is kind of the realization that we can't leave Arrakis without taking some of it with us, because that is one of the downsides of the spice is it is geriatric, it does extend life, but if you stop taking it, you're gonna die.
Oh shit.
So you
So
just got to
he
keep.
who goes to this planet must stay here.
And they managed to make because it is a spice, so it's not, they've managed to put it in different things. I like in the book that there's like spice beers, spice coffees.
Ah,
They find a way around it. There's spice in the food. They don't have to get fucked up 24/7 to
yes, a
survive.
little oregano, a little thyme,
Yeah,
a little garlic.
right, right. I like it. I like a little cinnamon in there.
And I remember about 12, 13 years ago when that synthetic weed you used to could buy at all the gas stations that people called spice. This guy I knew, he used to be on our videos, that Johnny guy, but we had to get rid of him. But he would come over with that shit, and I'd be smoking weed, and he wouldn't smoke weed, but he'd smoke that spice shit. And I remember him like taking a hit of his spice shit and be like, "Yo, man, do you want a little bit of this spice?" And I was like, "No, man, I like mine organic."
The spice melange. Yeah, you don't want to trust the gas station weed.
Yes,
That
it's
Delta 8.
about as good as gas station sushi, man. Like,
Both will probably end up giving you the shits.
yeah, just be sure you got your shit suit on so it filters through your thigh pockets.
Yeah, we're not wasting any water here.
But so yeah, they're hanging out at this little command center, and they get the shields raised up, and yeah, you see everybody over there. The Doctor Huey guy with his killer mustache.
Dr.
Uh,
Huey Lewis on the news.
yeah, Huey Lewis on the news. And so they decide to hop in a little spaceship and I guess just check out the lay of the land. What the fuck is the whole idea here?
Yeah, they're giving Duke Leto the rundown on the planet's ecology because Max von Sydow's character is Liet
Yeah,
Kynes.
okay. So like how the royals go to different factories just to show face.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's like, oh, we're
And,
gonna go to the spice factory. I need you to upgrade the morale of the employees.
and he definitely does because he's one of the first leaders in a while that's like when they have worm sign, they've been used to Harkonnen rule where it's like, fuck it, take as much as you can, and if you die, you die. Just try not to waste it. But Duke Leto comes in and he's like, damn the spice men, like we gotta get them out of there.
Yeah, so dude's all excited to see a worm, man. Fucking you think we'll see a worm? And dude's like, yes, there was a worm that was like 400 meters. And I hate it when they say meters because I'm like, motherfucker, this is America. How many feet is this? I don't need. Why do I gotta look this up?
Yeah, and they had a laugh before in the earlier scene where Yui's talking about the worms, and he's like, "We got a small sample of one of 125 meters," and Paul has like a little laugh to himself. So when you see one in the wild, it's like kaiju sized.
Yeah, like, oh, these worms don't play. So like, yeah, they're talking to David Lynch, the spice miner, and I guess getting people out of the factory before the worm eats it.
You got to abandon the spice carrier, and he's just like, "No," and then
No,
hangs up. Do you
I
mind
got
elaborating on that, sir? No.
Coop. I can hear. I can hear Coop.
Yeah, it does kind of look like he still has the earpiece in. They hadn't made fucking Twin Peaks yet, but that explains it all. His character in that is from another planet.
Yeah. He's from Earth, circa 1990.
Fucking David Bowie's spirit transferred him over or some shit.
Chris Isaac playing in the background.
Fucking. So yeah, the thing gets swallowed, and it is a pretty cool puppet effect. I
Yeah,
like the three-pronged mouth on the sandworms that close
yeah.
up with the
The
rows of teeth.
sandworms look cool as shit. And yeah, I like the way the sand is shaking, and then you just see the mouth coming out, and that thing just in the mouth of the worm.
They gave them a nice little hiss as well, so they have like a recognizable roar, which is pretty.
Yeah,
They got like lightning emanating from them, which is pretty metal.
yeah, man, like fucking cool. The whole sandworm shit is cool as fuck.
This is like the only adaptation of Dune that Frank Herbert was able to see before he died, because he only died like a year or two after its release. And it does kind of suck that David Lynch had such a hard time, because there are a couple of recorded interviews with David Lynch and Frank Herbert in the same room, and they seem to have gotten along really well. And Frank Herbert was a good sport about even the differences in the movie, where I like his quote that he was like, some of the movie is exactly how I imagined it when I wrote Dune. He's like, others is completely different, like not what I imagined at all. But he's like, all of it is pretty cool. Now I'm paraphrasing, but that was pretty awesome. The reason I bring this up is because the worms in particular look directly out of like the Frank Herbert approved concept art. So I like that they got that detail down, because in the new one, the common meme is that they kind of look like buttholes because they're just
Yeah,
kind of like these wide open, like the teeth are
it,
in there, but they're
it's
thin.
like the head of a wiener.
Yeah, I try to be mature about it. I'm like, well, it kind of looks like an eye a little bit, but nah, I can't be ignorant. It looks like a big old asshole. Um,
It's a fucking sand wiener, man.
yeah, the worry about this one was that yeah, they would look like wieners or they would look like turds. But I like that the three prong mouth. It kind of looks more like Tremors, which would come out a couple of years later.
Yeah. So yeah, they save the miners and then fly back, I guess.
Yep, they had enough of Arrakis for one day. And meanwhile, Jessica was being introduced to a character named Shoutout Mapes, who becomes like the handmaiden for them on Arrakis. She's the little lady.
Our Jesuit lady, our psychic nun is old. We need a new one. We need you to drink the life water. And she's just like, okay.
Sure, I'll trip sack.
Yeah.
We've gone past balls, and we're gonna trip full sack.
Yeah, and so like she becomes the new psychic nun and the old psychic nun dies. And I get it. I understood that. But then no, Princess Lady has to say, yes, she forfeited her life to give all of her knowledge to Jessica. And I'm like, I understood that.
That I actually got.
Yeah, like just in case you didn't understand, here's a Princess Lady with Maul.
That happens a little later in the movie, though. This is when they're still moving in, and I think the lady gives her the knife that's made out of the worm's tooth, and they're pretty much just setting up that Yui's going to betray them. Like the inner monologue is like he's holding something back because he
Yeah, it's
vaguely
so
mentions
obvious.
his wife.
Like it's so obvious. That's another bit where I'm like the inner monologue is just kind of making it worse because I understand this. Number one, Yui looks like your stereotypical traitor in these types of movies. Number two, he's saying shit like, "Oh yes, I don't like these people because my wife." And like, "Oh, what about your wife?" Well, the Harbokins, what's their names?
The Harkonnens.
The Harkonnens. Oh, I can't say further. He's like, "Oh, they must have killed her." Oh, but he's holding something back. Like, bitch, I get it. They conveyed
Half
it
of it is done in like extreme close up, so it's like the audience could pick up on what's going on.
Yeah.
More than pick up. But yeah, and it's only like 2 scenes later that the shoe drops. That he's like, "Yes, I've got you."
Yeah,
So we're introduced.
It's not even that big of a reveal. Like, it's not even that much of a shock. You know?
It is kind of funny that they introduced that shout out Mapes handmaiden character only to save her from the hunter seeker. Like we have that sequence coming up where Paul fucking has to stand still and then he grabs it. She almost dies there, only to die like a scene after. So her death was all coming.
And totally off screen, right?
Yeah, like the Duke just kind of finds her on the floor already.
Yeah, just bleeding and shit. Damn. But yeah, so yeah, Kyle MacLachlan's chilling in a room, and then like out of a hole in the door, this electric dildo kind of comes out, and he's like, "Oh, it's a hunter seeker." Oh, so it's like what a dumb name, you know? Like it's a dumb name to me.
Killer destroyer.
Yeah, it's a finder killer.
Finders keepers.
Yeah. And it will surely kill me if I move. It won't see me if I don't move. And
yeah, very early Jurassic Park. If we don't move, it won't see us.
Slow. It is so slow. He's like, oh, I can cry for help, but whoever opens that door will surely die. And it's so slow. Then it goes into the point of view of the hunter seeker, and I'm like, how can you not tell this is a person? Like, it would have been cooler if when it went through the point of view, maybe the vision looks crazy or weird and it would sort of explain why it wouldn't see him. But no, like, it's a clear fucking knob. That's motherfucking Kyle MacLachlan right there.
This is what happens when you get rid of thinking machines. But yeah, so he does finally, the door opens and he's able to grab it in his hand, which is pretty cool. Like he does the quick reflex and crush it. I always imagine that would fucking hurt. Like in every version of Dune, when he crushes the Hunter Seeker, I'm like it doesn't electrocute you or anything like that. There's no self-destruct.
Yeah, that thing was pretty useless.
Man, fuck the Hunter Seeker. The Hunter Seeker's a dick licker.
Yeah, And so
That's the
that
name of it.
that lady's all like, "No,
Yeah.
you saved my life." Oh, dude, but I forgot to mention earlier when the butthole fish guy and the people first visit the Emperor, when they're leaving, there's a guy sweeping shit up as they're leaving. He's got a black
Love
fucking
that
foot
detail.
broom. Say what?
I love that detail. That's like that's their job to like scrub the fucking tank slime from wherever they take him.
Yeah, I meant to fucking say mention that when we were there, but yeah. So cut back to where we're at now.
It is a funny detail.
And he didn't do a good job because there's still slime all over that floor.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter if you're the Emperor or an average Joe. Just fucking, they're like, all right, we out.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's like, "Oh, you're a Fremen." Me
Hold
and my
up,
people
I'm
watch
getting
you.
caught up in my notes. You're talking about Max von Sydow's character, right? Because there's always a little bit of fucking mystery. It's like, are you a Fremen?
Yeah, the one that he just saved the life of.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know the handmaiden.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, are you a Fremen?
And,
I got thrown off because I was still thinking about the fucking tank slime.
and yeah, she's like, "There's a traitor in your midst. We can't say who it is, but we know there's a traitor."
Another thing I love about the movies is that they like assure them that they'll be safe because it's like we've brought all the shields down. Well, it's like, well, the guy's already inside.
Yeah, and it's like, "Oh yes, you'll be safe." But I'm like, okay, if y'all don't know who the traitor is, how about you talk to the psychic nun?
Yeah, I wonder if there's like some fucking like political loophole, like we can't use that. Well, it is, yeah, because they don't really trust the Bene Gesserit. They don't really know if she'd be telling the truth or not.
That,
It's explained better in the book that they actually feel like she is the traitor all along, like that she's been kind of getting close to the Duke so she could do this plot. But they never explain that in the movie. There wouldn't be enough time to.
and so, like, he's going to sleep, and Duke Leto uh, goes and looks at Paul. Paul's sleeping, and he's like, "Sleep well, my son, as if we forgot. As if we forgot that is your son." Like, nobody says that. You know what I mean, dude? Like, my dad wasn't going into our bedroom when we were kids talking about "sleep well, my sons."
Good night, sweet prince. Yeah, it's because they're kind of just. I keep using the word foreshadowing, but it's not even foreshadowing. It's like he's gonna die.
It was so obvious because, like, even he's like, "I heard you talking. Is my dad going to die? You said he's dead. What's done is done." He's like, "No, Tim, he won't die." Well, I can't promise anything.
Listen, kid, he's toast. He's definitely gonna die.
It was written at the very beginning of the movie. You're just lucky your mom survived the whole thing.
Didn't you hear the fucking vagina mouthed word? Like it's all in the plan.
He's the new hand of the king. Yeah,
So this
everyone's
is
British to me
basically
in this.
like where shit revs up. Like fucking the Harkonnens descend down. They mentioned at the beginning of the movie that I've given the Harkonnens legions of my Sardaukar soldiers.
That's genocide.
And they just come down and absolutely fucking mop the floor with the place because fucking Duke Leto had gotten zapped by Yui. Who would have thunk?
Yeah, Louis or Yui bucks him up. And so this is your reveal of who the traitor is. And he's like, Yui. And I'm like, that's another way of saying you. And,
Yeah, he's just all fucked up. He's like, Yui.
and he's like, here, I need you to get close to the Baron. Get close to the Baron. Take this tooth. Remember this tooth. I'm going to put this tooth in your mouth, and you're going to bite it, and then blow out really hard.
Yeah, it's my poison bad breath tooth.
And and he fucking like it has this tooth extraction device that painlessly removes his old tooth, and then he just pops the new one in there. He's like,
Yeah,
"It is not
kind
going
of
to
like a
kill you
fucking
yet."
cyanide capsule, but like shaped as a tooth, and then it just sprays out this gas. I do like that there is a tragic nature to Yui, that he is a traitor, but he's not really evil. Like they killed his wife, and he's like, I really just want to. I'm fucking you over, but I really just you could kill the Baron. And there's that
Yeah,
one little shot of him like crying to himself in the corner.
yeah. It's that stereotypical traitor that's like, I'm a traitor, but I'm doing this to kill the bad guy, and it fails like miserably.
I like it's one of those details in the book that one of the opening chapters, like I said, they give you little like diary entries and moments of like history books, and it's like Yui's reputation is ruined for the rest of fucking history. Like he's known as like a Benedict Arnold, like a traitor. But when you know the full story of him and what was going on with his wife, it's like, oh fuck, like he was really backed against a wall on this one.
Yeah, so they're like you said, they're mopping the floor with this place. You see the little pug running through the hallway.
Yeah, little Frank the Pug. I always kept thinking of Men in Black 2. Like the pug with a movie this weird, I'm like, when's the pug gonna start talking?
Yeah, yeah, it would totally make sense. And yeah, motherfuckers are fighting, and then Duncan turns on his shield and fucking just fails. Like last time you see the blocky shield, and some sort of projectile shoots through it and goes into his head. I'm like, what's even the point of this thing? It's
Because the
fucking
slow blade penetrates the shield. So I guess, like, by that mentality, if they were propelling a blade at him, it should have bounced off.
yeah. It's like there's no reason for y'all to have this. It didn't protect shit. I mean, hell, they already showed at the beginning of the movie when both fucking knives penetrated the shield. He's like, oh, but look down. Like, so
Yeah, you wouldn't know that Duncan Idaho would be like the most reoccurring character in all of the Dune books if you just watched this movie. You would just think he was like a side character who got just killed off and that was it.
yeah, it's like this man does nothing. He's just there to die. He's just there to be like, yes, I'm actually your friend, but we're not going to show any of that.
I'm actually really important and they're gonna clone me and shit. Like I'm gonna be showing up like again and again, like thousands of years from now. But like don't worry about that right now. Just let me get shot in the head. Don't worry about it.
And so yeah, they take off with psychic mom now, Jessica, and Paul. Throw them on a spaceship. They're like, yes, destroy the bodies, take them to the worms, leave no evidence.
They fuck up Max von Sydow. I like the fucking detail that they tear his fucking still suit open and all the fucking hoses are leaking water. All his piss and
Yeah,
shit are coming out. And they're like, give his body to the desert.
yeah, that was pretty cool. So yeah, he's fucked. Uh,
Paul and Jessica are gagged in the back seat, but they get fucking Paul. I think he like uses the voice on them, but they got to remove his gag first. And
I
I've
don't think
always
he
kind
was.
of
I
had
don't
an
think he
issue.
was gagged at all.
Oh, it was
Because
just Jessica that was gagged.
yeah, because she's all talking in her head, and then he pulls the cover off of her, and fucking dude's like, "Don't you touch my mom!" She's like, "Oh, he's using the voice," and
I've always had like a iffy reaction to how they portray the voice in the movies because in both versions they kind of it's kind of like the Force, where it's like this magical power where their voice gets all low and growly and it controls their mind. Whereas, like in the book, and even in the book, it's one of those things that as a fan, I still have a hard time fully understanding it, but I see it more as like a metaphorical thing. Kind of like you just use your charisma and it has an effect on people. But who knows? Because in this scene, it definitely makes them do what he wants.
yeah, he's like, "Take her gag off," and he's like, "Okay." She's like, yes. Then now she takes over with her truly powerful voice. Now, unbound my son.
Yeah, she starts doing the metal vocals.
Yeah, and then dude fucking is like, y'all don't need to fight over me. And so he stabs the pilot. And then Kyle MacLachlan just gives him a kick in the face. Kah! And so now it's like, all right, now we got to fly this ship.
And this is where the tables kind of turn for the Paul character, where he's less boyish now. He's becoming more stoic as shit hits the fan. And it's Jessica who's becoming more of like the hysterical one as
Yeah,
her
when
husband's
the
about
ship
to
starts like
die.
banging around, when the ship starts banging around, she's flying around in the back, and she's like, "Oh my god!"
Meanwhile, like Kyle's just trying to hold it together, like he's just trying to look stoic.
He's like, "Be quiet, mother. Let me fly this ship."
Let me fly this ship that I've never flown in my life.
Oh, but you know what? Another thing I have in my notes is when that hunter seeker is he's standing there being quiet, and not moving. It reminded me of a pesky wasp. Like if a wasp is checking you out, you're like trying to be still so it doesn't sting you.
Yeah, it's just like, get the fuck out of here, Wasp.
But yeah, so I guess they land.
Yeah, they land and they start to. Duke Leto dies in between this. Like the Baron and Piter have him fucking
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
all
This is
around.
where Piter shows up and they're fucking chilling, and fucking Baron is just floating all around him, and Duke Leto starts to wake up and he's like, the tooth, the tooth. Oh, and he's like, he can't tell who's in front of him. And so he bites it and shoots out this green gas on the other eyebrow dude.
Yeah, fucking Brad Dourif gets killed. Lets out a
And
Chucky scream right before he dies. No!
yeah, and fucking Baron's just like, oh man, I'm glad I was out of the way. And
Fucking laughing and flying around.
yeah, dude. And then is this when he's got eyebrow dude, and he's like, "You're one of us now. I've put a heart plug in you."
I think they keep cutting back and forth from like Paul and Jessica like traversing the not soundstage desert. And then yeah, this is when they get Thufir and they show him that weird cat machine.
Yeah, he's like, "Yes, you need, you need to get the milk from the cats every day."
Yeah, that's another one where it's like that's just Lynch all the way.
There's a cat and a mouse on this thing.
I think the toy line actually came with one of those.
Are you for real?
I I could be wrong, but something's telling me like there actually was like a miniaturized version of that.
I need that.
Where basement dwellers, dick lickers, calling all dick lickers. Show us
Yeah,
the cheapest link.
eBay.
Yo, get us the eBay links.
So yeah, and there's is this a bit too where Bebop and Rocksteady are hanging out, and there's these two little people, and like a cow thing, uh, sort of hung up and wrapped up, and then and fucking Bebop like takes a piece of it, he starts eating it, and
Yeah,
he
every
gets
time it cuts to the Harkonnens, they're always shoving fucking something in their mouth, or like they in the last scene in the green room, they were making like bug juice.
yeah, squishing the little bug, and he's sipping it through a straw. Like that's your new high C pouch. In
Yeah,
in
that's your
year
new
ten
Ecto Cooler,
thousand,
guys.
in the year 10,000, that's your new Ecto Cooler.
That's your high C melange.
Yeah. And so there's a bit where, like, when Bebop and Rocksteady are leaving, uh, fucking Bebop pushes one of the little people, just knocks him out of the way, and he falls over. That kind of made me chuckle.
just
Uh,
needlessly evil, like
yeah, just
mustache twirling evil.
such an asshole. But yeah, so like they've landed and they need to get to a mountain.
So they must walk without rhythm to not
Yeah.
attract the worm.
Yes. And
Like
so now I'm
go
expecting to
this or
see
go
Christopher
closer.
Walken dance around. Um, and then he gets this instrument, this thing he calls a thumper, which I think is another pretty cool little detail that will attract the worm to somewhere else. And so they're walking and walking and walking. But the worm comes after them anyways. I'm like, your thumper didn't work.
Yeah, it just kind of attracted the worm.
And so, yeah, the worm chases them. They get to the little mountain and they're hiding behind there. And the worm is smashing into the mountain and it cracks and he falls and shit. And then there's another thumper and he's like, the worm left and she's like, oh no, why are they leaving? Like, why are you freaking out that they're leaving? Like, you should be glad. But then he's like, somebody else turned on another thumper. And I'm like, it was Fat Boy Slim.
Yep. Yep, exactly. They found the Fat Boy Slim cave. And now a desert rave is about to start like the Matrix.
Yeah. And so now we get a whole fucking crew of Fremen people wearing the shit suits.
Yeah, so they were the ones that had put the thumper down, and the worms were actually just kind of guiding them to their siege.
Yeah. And dude says, I will take the boy man.
And
I will
again,
take
this is
the boy
another
man.
one because we're reaching like the middle of the second act, and we're reaching kind of like where the plot's gonna start to wrap up. This is where it kicks into maximum overdrive, and the editing really starts to fuck up the movie.
Yeah,
Uh,
now it's like we need to do a passage of time. Uh, and so we're gonna mix some montage with more narration.
because they think Paul's dead, the Harkonnen. So in the book, he's out there for 2 years. We really get to see how he, like, number one, gets accepted by the Fremen, then fits in, and then becomes their leader. But it's kind of like within the day, the moment they meet him, they're like, "You will be Muad'Dib."
Yeah, they're like, we'll call you
Usul.
Usul, but that'll be your secret name. What do you want to be? He's like, can I be Muad'Dib? Okay, all right, we'll call you that. But then they continue to call him Usul. Like,
Yeah,
okay, but
that's
didn't you just say? Though it doesn't make no sense. But yeah, before this, after Jessica drinks the life water, she's like, but what about my unborn child? And then he's like, when they're on the ship, he's like, I know you have my sister in you. She's like, oh, he knows, which is another plot point that is about to be coming. And it's like, oh, because of the yeah, more narration. Because of her drinking the life water, she gave a premature birth to her daughter, who grew up very fast.
and now this really looks like the X Files opening when she's fucking screaming.
Yeah.
And then yeah, you got like this star child like coming out of the womb. She was pre-born with the memories of all her fucking ancestors, kind of like what I was telling you before, where you could tap into the memories of all the people who have gone by. But that happened to her in the womb, so she basically like woke up as a baby. It's pretty freaky.
Yeah.
It's
And
unnerving.
so there's this lady that he kept seeing in his dreams, a Fremen lady, and
Played by Sean Young, who was in Blade Runner and also Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
whoa, really?
Yeah, she was the one with the infamous story where she like stalked Tim Burton over the fucking Catwoman role. She's got a lot of infamous Hollywood stories, Sean Young, that are pretty entertaining. But There's also a lot of cool Dune behind the scenes on her YouTube channel because she was one of those actresses who would run around with the old VHS camera or even the film camera and do like the behind the scenes stuff before it was popular.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that's a cool kind of thing you could go check out on YouTube. That I'm not going to call it never before seen footage because I don't know how long it's been uploaded for, but it's not something you would catch on the DVDs.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And so he's like, yes, I'll train you all. I'll train 100 of you, and then yo's 100 can train the next 1,000.
And then he shows them the fucking weirding module because this is something that's been being built up for a while. That at the beginning of the movie, the Emperor is like, the reason we want to kill the Atreides is because they're working on a weapon that incorporates sound. And then in
Yeah.
the training sequence, they give Paul one of them to fight like the clinky clanky robot with. Um,
Yeah,
which is
because
pretty
yeah,
cool.
Paul fights the little clinky clinky robot at the beginning of the movie with his little sound gun.
And so now he teaches the Fremen how to use it. This weirding module is another thing that's not really in the book. It's just kind of an excuse to have more laser blasts in the movie. Like in the book, it's called the Weirding Way, and it's more like a martial art that the Bene Gesserit use that he teaches the Fremen. There's a lot more like hand-to-hand and sword-based combat in the Dune universe, but the De Laurentiis family, like I said, competing with Star Wars, so they're like, we gotta have fucking laser fights.
More lasers.
So whether or not, like, it's always becoming a desert rave, no matter what, because you're just fucking shooting glow sticks, basically.
Yeah, and God, now fucking they're training, and yeah, a big passage of time. He's like, it's like, oh, in the 2 years that passed, the daughter grew up and he trained everybody, and then like now he doesn't dream, and so now he wants some life water. So they take him
Yeah,
to the desert.
grown stagnant.
Yeah, take him to the desert, tie him up, give him some water, and now he's like, yes, I can go where the women can't go.
And this is probably my favorite sequence of the latter half when he takes the water of life. The Brian Eno prophecy theme is definitely one of the coolest tracks ever put to film. And then he fucking, even his scream is Shakespearean, if that makes any sense. Like, it doesn't come off like a real painful scream. He's just kind of like really shouting it to the back row. And then it becomes like Pink Floyd's Echoes for a second
Yeah.
as he fucking taps into the universal consciousness. He gets so high, he taps into the universal consciousness and figures out how to beat the Harkonnens through the relationship between the worms and the spice.
Yeah, he's like, the spice are the worms. The worms are the spice.
And that breaks his fucking mind.
Yeah, and the worms show up, and he's like, oh yes, why aren't they attacking? Oh yes, we're cool with the worms now. But yeah, he does during his training because like he does when he's training everybody, he's got this rock. He's like, this is your hardest rock. Kick it, hit it, cut it. And they're like, oh man, we can't do nothing with it. He's like, well, I'm gonna make my hussa noise, and it breaks the rock. And then he's like, oh man, I did so good. Now I got to control the worm.
I
So
love
they,
that one guy where he's like, yell at it, and the guy literally just goes, break!
yeah, yeah, that was a good little bit. Uh,
He's the only extra in the movie that really looks like a Fremen. Like, he actually looks like he's been out in the sun for a long time. Like, not to sound fucking, but it's like these are some of the palest Fremen like I've ever seen in my life.
and then most of them aren't even breathing through their mouths.
Yeah, most of them don't even. So they did blue contacts for a little bit because the Fremen are supposed to be blue within blue eyes due to their spice addiction. But the
Yeah,
actors all complained about the contacts, so then it became a rotoscope animation that eventually they just dropped because it became too difficult to keep going frame by frame with a bunch of people with glowing eyes.
yeah. Um, but yeah, so now it's like, oh yes, we can control the worms. And so is this where Emperor Dude calls Boilface Baron?
Yeah, he comes down to Arrakis basically, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know you were coming," and it's like, "Of course you didn't." Like they're finally just breathing down the emperor. The emperor's breathing down the Baron's neck because in the 2 years that have passed, Muad'Dib and his Fremen Fedaykin warriors have just been absolutely fucking spice production. In that,
Yes, production is stopped. It's not flowing.
in like that montage, you see like Beast Raban running through the desert and letting out one of those classic villain like no as one of the fucking spice carriers explodes.
Yeah, when they're running through that desert in the montage, that's when we catch back up with Patrick Stewart. He's like, "Oh, I thought you were dead."
You young pup! That's what he's yelling, and I love that they incorporated that line from the book because it genuinely feel good. Like he thought Paul was dead, and the first thing he says is "fucking you young pup."
Yeah, so he joins the cause.
Yeah, because he was out there just mining spice. He became like a David Lynch, like an average Joe, just like stuck on Arrakis. So now we're
Yeah, got
fucking
nothing else to do.
like he thought he was crazy at first. He's like, "You're not Paul Atreides," and then he shows him the Duke's signet ring, which that's
You,
something that's brought up at the beginning of the movie. That's like the Baron wants the Duke's ring.
yeah, and so another thing I was gonna say is this is a whole lot like Lion King,
Yes, I
where
agree.
like everybody thinks he's dead, and but he's out training and hanging out for a couple years.
It's even like Lion King, like in the sense where like he's staring up at the moon and he's like, "Father, the
Yeah,
sleeper has awakened," and I almost want like Leto's face to form in the clouds and be like, "Remember who you are, Paul."
remember who you are, my son. Damn,
You
but
are
yeah, so
my
like they're fucking shit up, and they bring in a guy, and he's like, Muad'Dib, Muad'Dib. He's been saying this ever since we caught him. Like, who is Muad'Dib?
Who is this Muad'Dib? Yeah, I love that. Fucking just, he gets me so angry.
The motherfucker says, I can't remember when they say this, but I think it might be when they first allow Paul and his mom to join the group. They're like, our water shall mingle with your water.
Yeah, water's very important in the Fremen culture. They don't waste their water on anybody.
And so yeah, this is the fucking emperor is just like, you've been fucking up, man. We haven't space traveled in a week. We need the spice,
The spice must flow.
and it is definitely not flowing.
No, sir. Not in the slightest. I gotta get my spice fix, man. He starts fucking like scratching on his neck.
Hmm. Yeah. So now they show the Alia, the little girl with the blue eyes, shows up,
Which is
and
definitely one of the most awkward things in the movie. Like, it is creepy. Alia has always been one of the creepier elements of the book, but they dubbed over this toddler with like an adult woman doing a toddler's voice, but she still has like, she's like doing this fake lisp. And I don't know, man. Alia was always going to be a hard thing to adapt to the big screen because she's basically a freak of nature. Again, born with all the memories and born awake. So
the
by the
most
time she's two
powerful
years old,
object, the
yeah, by the
most
time she's
powerful of
2 years old, she's like an adult.
and like, this is an abomination. You must kill her. It's like, silence! I will kill you with a word.
Get out of my mind.
Not until you say something. What the fuck was he supposed to do or say?
she's like, not until you tell them who I really am. And she's like, it's true. She's the son of Duke Leto Atreides. Because again, they thought all the Atreides were killed. So this is like the shoot drop on the Emperor, where it's like, we're back, bitch.
Yeah, it's like, oh fuck, they're alive. Shit.
He's fucking tugging on his collar, like, yoo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah, and then she's like, what's she saying to the Baron? Wait for my brother.
Wait for
Wait.
my brother, Baron.
Yeah, wait for my brother.
And
And
the
so yeah,
Baron, like, they just kind of ran out of shit for him to do, so he's literally just sitting there, like, screeching at nothing.
yeah, "Wow."
Like,
And
I guess she's inside his mind, like, fucking with him. That's the only explanation I have, because he's kind of just having, like, a little schizophrenic episode.
yeah, and so they're all like, it is the time, it's my speech, and I'm telling you all what we're going to do. And
Emperor, we're coming for you. What
yeah,
you gonna do when fucking Muad Mania runs wild on you?
yeah. I'm a real Iraqian.
Yeah, that's definitely what it felt like. Emperor, we come for you, brother.
Oh, fucking A, man. Rips
Long
his,
live the
rips his,
fighters.
he rips his shit suit off.
Yeah, he rips it down the middle, and he's just got like these rock hard Arakeen abs.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't remember when Steen comes out of the steam thing, but that's when it's like his uncle's all like, "Oh yes, pretty boy."
Yeah, dude, he's got that creepy pedo moment, and then he's also looking at Raban like, "You need to squeeze, Raban, and
Yes,
squeeze."
jeez. Oh my god.
So that was
Oh,
the first scene I ever saw on TV. And weirdly enough, I was at my grandmother's house at the time. And again, I don't blame her. Like, she walked in while I was watching it, and she was like, "What the hell is this?" And I was like, "This is called Dune." And she had misheard me. She thought I had said Doom. And she's like, "Doom? Well, they look doomed." I'm like, "Yeah, well, you're not wrong." Uh, such a fucking. That was my introduction to Dune, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I didn't want to fucking switch the channel because I had no idea. I was like, oh, so this is what Dune is. Little did I know that it's not actually really what Dune is, but I was fascinated when Dune walked, when fucking Sting walked out in that speedo.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
There's a
he's
little
just got
talk for
this
the ladies.
wide-eyed fucking like I don't even know what you would describe the look on his face in. Like, Sting's always just got this maniacal, wide-eyed grin on his face the whole time.
I know, man. It's almost like they wanted Billy Idol.
Well, it is weird because when Jodorowsky was directing, they wanted fucking Mick Jagger, and then it became Sting. And I know he's not really a rock star, but now in part two, we have Austin Butler who played Elvis. So I'm like, yeah, Fade's just kind of like a rockin' character.
Weird, crazy.
He looks
Uh,
like a lanky heat miser.
yeah, and he's telling so they're starting to battle, and Kyle MacLachlan says, Patrick Stewart, when the storm comes, I want you to turn on the atomics. He's like, make it so, number one.
And dude, I want that to be my text tone. I don't know how I could do it, but I want every time somebody texts me, it's just Patrick Stewart going, Atomics!
Yeah, atomics. They put on their little radiation suits and shit.
Yeah, which they never really talk about it, but it like they don't talk about where they get these atomics from. Um, in the book, they say that it's the family atomics, which is a really hilarious sentence that these royal families just have like stockholds of like nuclear weapons. And Gurney, Patrick Stewart, like while he was being a spice miner in the deep desert, he's like, I found the family atomics. I know
Exactly.
where they're hidden.
And so yeah, they just blow up a wall, and sand comes through,
And then
and
they break through the walls into the city of Arakeen,
and
basically right at the
it's a cool
Emperor's
ass
doorstep.
shot, man. They're all riding the worms and shit.
Yeah, this part's fucking awesome. It's just kind of goofy that they're all doing the Isa And some of them aren't even doing that. Some of them are just straight up yelling like Muad'Dib, because there's that
Yeah,
whole part where he's like, "Yes, my name
because he
is a killing
mentions too,
word."
he's like, my name is a killer. My
You could
name.
literally just yell anything though, can't you? Because sometimes they're saying "cha." Like I would be like the angry video game nerd. I'd just be going around like "fuck, fuck,
Fuck.
fire, fuck,
Uh,
fire."
and what's so weird though is like the Emperor and all these guys get on this like merry-go-round fucking
Yeah,
thing,
the Emperor himself takes to a fucking cannon.
and it's just spinning, and they're sitting on it. Like it's so fucking silly, but it's cool.
Yeah, I like those little shots you get of like the screen he's looking into, and you got the worms fucking roaring into the camera.
Yeah, they're just shooting at the worms, and it's not even phasing the worms, man.
The worms are literally like spitting out spice and drowning people in sand.
Yeah, and like not a single Arrakis person is like even shot or killed. Like they're all like, yes, we have it.
And I love how this is when like Toto's able to just let loose with the guitar riffs. It feels so triumphant, even though what's going on screen is so goofy that it's like bow,
Yeah.
bow, bow, bow.
Bless the rains down in Arrakis.
Oh well, that's at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
That basically is what the end credit song sounds like, as like the most awkward end credits I've ever seen in my life. But I
Dude,
fucking
you
love them.
ain't lying. Like such a sitcom-y fucking end credits.
Like a variety show.
So
And
like,
Patrick Stewart was here.
yeah, it's like, oh, now you wait for my brother, and he's like, he tells her telepathically, now do it. And she unplugs like his nipple plugs, and he's like blowing away like a balloon
Yeah.
with its
So
air.
the first thing that she does, like, so she is definitely using like some psychic powers because she's like, "Come to me, Baron," and then he swipes him in the face. She swipes him in the face with the Gom Jabbar, that little finger knife from the
Yeah,
beginning box scene. So that's like poison. So he's already fucked. But then, yeah, a little bit of irony. He pulls out his little fucking like heart plug, and he goes flying into a worm's mouth.
yeah, such a silly motherfucking shot, but it looked awesome.
As the little like puppet baron's hands are like doing like it looks like an action figure. Like they used the Kenner figure with the kung fu grip.
You know what the Baron looks like to me is Kevin Smith as the sausage Nazi.
He looks like a Bratzy with that
Yeah.
big jacket. Oh,
Oh,
man, it's such a downgrade of what like the Baron's character is in the book because he's not like this boily fucking freak. Like he is still very depraved and weird, and he's definitely like a floating fat guy. Like he's got these repulsors that hold up his weight. But he's not like this maniacal mustache twirling like screaming villain. He still has like those weird like pedo qualities to him, which is really creepy. But I don't know. They really did him dirty in this one. Literally, like they just put a bunch of fucking syphilis on his face.
yeah. And so like they all show up in that Emperor room, and they're like, "He's alive!" And fucking she's they try to do something with Kyle MacLachlan. He's like, "No, I can kill you with a word."
I've smoked from your bong jabar, and now you'll smoke from mine.
And so now it's like, Sting, we need backup. Sting, let's fight. So we get this fucking West Side Story knife fight.
Yeah, dude, fucking Sting is just prancing around, and I love how like he's kind of like a space opera Joker. You know, he's just bouncing around and laughing and making fun of Chani, like, will she require some of my special attentions? Har har har.
Yeah. And so yeah, when fucking he gets a hold of him, and then this little like side blade comes out of Sting, and he's like, "Oh, it's a poison blade,"
Yeah,
and
he's fighting dirty.
gets him on the floor, and fucking Kyle MacLachlan stabs the shit out of Sting, and I'm like, Sting just got stung.
Bam, fatality. And I love the one Fremen who basically he goes Muad'Dib in the same way like somebody would be like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude. It's like, holy shit.
That was the
Mua.
first time somebody used Muad'Dib's name in vain.
Oh my god, fucking hilarious. And
And
then
then
like,
it wasn't like bad enough. Like he stabbed him through the chin, and then he uses his fucking word powers, and the whole fucking floor like crumbles, and his eyes go white.
yeah. And then it's like it starts to rain, and everybody's like, "What is this? I've never seen this in my life."
Like it's such an ending that'll get you pumped because again the music's going off. Bow, bow, bow. How could this be? Because he is the Quizhat Satarak. But
Yeah,
like
dude. The
in the
last
last like
line in the
two
film.
seconds, in the last 2 seconds of the movie, David Lynch just says like "fuck you" to all of Dune lore. Like Paul's actually a god. And like raining on Arrakis would actually be a bad thing, but it's like fuck it, the movie's over.
Yeah, like, oh my god. And yeah, fucking. Then it plays this prog pop song. Like that's the best way to describe this. Is it sounds like 80s Pink Floyd uh fucking playing, but it's
Yeah,
goddamn
they're
Toto.
basically just playing Terminal Frost.
Yeah, and it's just fucking Toto doing 80s Toto. And yeah, it's like, yeah, we're gonna show a picture of everybody in the movie in alphabetical order.
You got the rolling waves of Caladan, and it's like it's not even like they're taking a bow. If they were gonna do the theatrical thing, it's like at least have them bow. It's like they're all just kind of standing there, like they're in a Norman Rockwell painting, or they're
Like
getting
the end
ready for
of
picture day.
the Bad Seed, when like everybody's getting up there and bowing, and then they show the Baron, and they're like, "Now as for you," and they start giving him a spanking.
And he's like, ah, ah.
He's like, "Why? What did I do?"
That'd be awesome.
So that's fucking Dune. And so far, that was not as hard or as long as I thought it would be, as far as this episode goes.
Yeah, dude, I definitely thought we were gonna be here a lot longer, but it's like I said, the second act like really ramps up, and it's something that if you were to adapt Dune, like one of the fatal flaws of this movie is they tried to adapt the whole of the first book into one movie, where even Ridley Scott, when that was passing through his hands as director, he wanted to split it into two parts. He knew that that would be the only way to do it, and now here we are in 2024 where that's what was done.
Yeah,
So
it makes more sense though. Like back then, nobody wanted to do that shit. Sequels were there were sequels, but they were back then they were nowhere near like it is now where movies are just meant to have sequels now. Movies are now meant to be broken into multiple parts now. Uh Whereas back then they were like, nah, we're not gonna do this.
it's
I
true.
mean,
They're usually like the first one's better. What is interesting is that when David Lynch signed on for the movie, like there were sequels in mind. Like they were gonna do Dune Messiah, which is the second book. Which, by the way, this movie ends like it actually would have been interesting to see like a second Dune movie helmed by David Lynch probably would have been like his Batman Returns, where it's like now you really can do like carte blanche. It would have
yeah,
been closer to a
if it was
murder
a big hit, they'd be like, all right, Lynch, you can do whatever you want with this.
because the way it ends like is definitely not the way that the book ends. So it's like you can go any which way with it, and in a way, this version of Dune did get its sequels in video game form because there were a lot of real time strategy Dune games based on and role playing games based on the 80s Dune that it was originally just an adaptation of the first movie, but then as the sequel games went along, they started doing their own stuff with their own I think Dune 2000 has full motion video cutscenes that are fully rendered to look like the David Lynch universe, and you even got a discount Sting character in there. So it's pretty
Rad.
cool.
And
And
see, it's
speaking
sort of
of
like
Next Generation, you got Worf as one of the Atreides. They don't have Patrick Stewart come back for the full motion video stuff, but they
they
do
get
have
back
Worf.
Thorn.
Do
Well,
they get back who?
but yeah, it's like when they started doing the Harry Potter movies, and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. That kind of really made making multiple movies at the forefront. And the Harry Potter movies did it right by being like, you know what, every movie's going to be part, one of the different books, and then breaking the seventh book into two parts is kind of where that really started now, where they did that with everything for a minute, where the final part of the movie was broken into two parts. They did it with Hunger Games and all that shit. And so
Absolutely.
it makes sense to do Dune nowadays because of that.
It definitely picked up as a trend, but I'm all game for it because if it's necessary, it's necessary. But I'm kind of with the same opinion as Comic Book Girl 19. She's a huge Dune fan on YouTube.
She's the one that years ago was talking about the Jodorowsky versions of Dune that made me aware of all that shit. I used to watch the crap out of her.
Yeah, she's got some of my favorite Dune content on YouTube. Her and a channel called Quinn's Ideas. He does like the complete guide to Dune that like really brings it into a digestible form. If you're somebody who's not looking to really read the books, but you still want to understand the world, he's a good stop. But if you're looking to read the books, Comic Book Girl 19 does like a whole Dune club, which is pretty rad. Like she had done all these live streams where she would do like lessons and go chapter to chapter and break it down. And yeah, she did that episode on Jodorowsky's Dune. And she always said that the best way to adapt Dune would be as like a Game of Thrones like TV series, but that's
Yeah.
obviously not where they went with it. Hopefully, like I don't know if they're going to continue doing movies after Dune Messiah with this new run, but maybe we could get a TV show based on one of the Herbert books. Right now, they only have a spin-off show that's in the works. That's just kind of like its own thing. Um, but I agree with her that it's like the best way. Like Dune is one of those things that's meant to be a book. Like that's the best way to do the story is just read it for yourself. But if you're gonna do an adaptation, like I think a long form series would be the most ideal. And they did something like that in 2000 on the Sci-Fi Channel. They had done a Dune adaptation.
Yeah, that little mini series. And it was called Frank Herbert's Dune.
And the sequel, Children of Dune, was actually pretty cool. You got a young James McAvoy playing the son of Paul Atreides.
Oh
So
damn.
it's one of the things where the sequel series was actually better than the first series, but it didn't get as many eyes watching the screen. It didn't get as watched, but it's really good. The Dune sci-fi like miniseries it got like Emmys and like it actually was a pretty big deal when it came out because that was when the Sci-Fi Channel was still like
Okay, cred.
shit like that. Yeah, it wasn't SYFY yet.
Yeah. It was back when I loved the Sci-Fi Channel.
A different time, a delicate
Back,
time.
back when they had Stargate.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we had
So
spooned the Dune.
yeah, we spooned this fucking Dune, and we have two more Dunes to spoon.
Thankfully, we've gotten like the most confusing one out of the way. But like I said at the beginning of the podcast, this movie does have a special place in my heart just for being that first initial like jumping off point like into the Dune universe. It fascinated me enough to want to research the books and then eventually pick up a copy for my own. Um, so I really like it. And again, like you said, we were both already fans of David Lynch going into it. We had already kind of heard the Hollywood nightmare stories of it just through being a fan of his filmography. So I don't think we were as shocked as like audiences who were like going in cold. You know what I mean? We still had some basis of what to expect, and I walked out thoroughly surprised of how like it is confusing, but not as confusing as you would think.
Yeah, me, for somebody who this is the very first time I've ever seen the movie. I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. It was a cool ass movie, but I'll probably never watch it again.
Fair.
It's
That is
definitely
fair
one and
assessment.
like it's definitely a one and done. It's like, all right, it's cool. I'm glad I saw this. Now I can say I saw it, and fucking, it's definitely memorable. The visuals, the sets, the effects, all that shit looks great. The acting's fine. Seeing, you know, just the imagination on screen was really cool. And uh, yeah, I would recommend people watch it, even if it's only for one time. Like, yeah, it's definitely something worth checking out. But it does demand your attention, and even though if you give it your full attention, we and Stas were talking about it when it was over. It's like, what? We didn't understand none of that. And I was like, yeah. I said it's a cool movie, but I'll probably never watch it again. She's like, hell, probably got to watch it 4 or 5 times to even understand anything. And I was like, yeah.
Right, but it's like good luck sitting through it. 2 hours,
Yeah,
15
I've
minutes,
already.
and then you got to sit through the worm scene again where he's fucking folding space, the guild navigator.
Yeah, I've watched it once, and that's enough.
I've had my fill of spice. The spice has flown. Um, there are a lot of fan edits out there. None that I know of that remove the narration completely, just because I figured that would be really tricky to do.
There's
But
apparently a TV edit that removes the narration that David Lynch hates.
well, the TV version is the Alan Smithy cut that he put the Alan Smithy name and another fake name on the writer's credit. Uh,
Yeah,
and it's not that they got rid of the narration; they just replaced Virginia Madsen's narration with like a deeper voiced guy narrating even more.
yeah, because I had also read that they added like stills and shit and pictures.
Yeah, they give you even more info dumping at the beginning of the movie, and then they also incorporate like some extended footage and deleted scenes because that's what TV cuts were doing at the time.
Which is
Uh,
cool. We were talking about Waterworld. The TV cut adds a bunch of scenes that to me make it better. Um, and I wish that there would be a unedited version of the TV cut.
the no commercials cut.
Yeah, or cuss words aren't bleeped out and shit.
Right, so you could just get the best of both worlds. There
And
is
I don't know
one
if that
cut of
exists.
Dune
I
that
think you
I've
can watch it online, but I don't know if it's ever been officially released.
there's one cut of fan edit of Dune that's on YouTube. Surprisingly, hasn't been taken down. It's from an editor called Spice Diver, and that one I've been meaning to check out because he not only like cuts out some of the fat, but then also reinstates some of the deleted scenes and some scenes from the TV cut. And it's supposed to be the preferred, like the more digestible version of David Lynch's Dune, but I have yet to check it out yet. But it is for free on YouTube.
Damn, hell yeah. Yeah, it was a pretty cool ass movie.
My best friend Mo, who I do Crew Boys with, I was showing it to him, and his takeaway from the Toto score was that you can kind of just say the film's title along with it. You're like Dune, 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 like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Dune, 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 Dune.
And that melody there is the melody that's on the Cradle of Filth song.
And that's what I'm about to check out because unless we have more to cover, I've run out of notes.
Yeah, I am pretty much done.
The notes have stopped flowing.
Yes.
I'm feeling a
Until
little dizzy
next.
after this one.
Now I'm gonna have to figure out a way to watch these new Dunes because I think they're streaming on Max. So I'm gonna have to make a fucking new email address and find a free trial.
shit. Yeah, and there'll probably still be advertisements. So we're gonna be sitting in this basement for a while. Crank up the AC.
But yeah, I guess that is it, y'all.
So where can we find you, Mr. Travis?
You can find all of our music on all streaming platforms under Monster and the Family and Sticky Middle Finger. You watch our videos, music videos, reviews, podcasts, and this podcast on the Bloody Chuckle Studios YouTube channel. And if you want to join the fun, we have 2 Facebook groups. There's the Basement, Fresh from the Facebook group, and there's the Speaker Brains Facebook group. The only rule is don't be a dick. And yeah, what about you?
You can find me on my YouTube channel, FTV Productions. You could also find me on me and my buddy Mo's gaming channel, Crew Boys. I always say that I've been wanting to do more episodes of it. We haven't uploaded anything yet, but we're going to be kicking back into Fallout pretty soon. And then you could also find me on Facebook, Frank Del Vecchio. I follow those 2 Facebook groups, Speaker Brains and The Basement, fresh from the Facebook group. But I also have Danny Elfman Boingo Posting, which is a Danny Elfman themed meme group, if you're into the work of Danny Elfman. And you could also find me on Instagram, the FDV Production. Look for the little yellow cartoony image of me.
Yeah.
But that's all my links, man. And that's it for today, Dick Lickers.
Until next time, Spice Snorters.
Spice snorters. I'm about to pull out my little heart plug and fly out the window.
Cat piss snorters.
You must milk the cat until it milks no more, or whatever the fuck it says.
Hell yeah. But shit, we'll see y'all in the next episode when we talk about New Dune.
We'll spoon the new Dune, my dude.
Spoon the New Dune. We'll see y'all later.
Later.